Hello, hello, hello. It's me,
Hi,
Amber,
everyone.
and I got Jason and our baby Dream there. He's on daddy
We got a co-junior host right here, teaching her the ropes.
She's got to get started early. So, yeah, everyone, thank you for being patient with me. We're a couple minutes late. Hello, Danica. So, yeah, we were having a few issues, but we got it all worked out now. So, we are going to do a 90-day Fiance recap of the About Last Night episode. What do you think about this episode, Jason?
A little bit of the same. There are a couple surprises in there. We'll talk about them.
Yeah. Okay, so who should we start off with? Hi, team. I think let's start talking about, let's get Brandon and Julie out of the way. So
yeah.
So Brandon and Julia, first of all, Brandon's mom was teaching Julia how to make lasagna, and she taught him how to make, when she was teaching Julia how to make lasagna, she put a whole layer of tomatoes. Do you put tomatoes in your lasagna like that? I've never seen nobody do that before. I know
that might be homemade sauce, though. Who knows?
I don't know. I've heard a bunch of Italian people saying, I don't ever put tomatoes in my lasagna.
I listen to them.
Yeah. So they're all eating at dinner and whatnot. And Brandon told his mom we're gonna go wedding dress shopping this weekend. And so they went wedding dress shopping, and they didn't really want to drag Betty along with them, but she kind of volunteered herself to come. So,
well, what's Brandon going out and shopping for a wedding dress anyway? Anybody that's married in the room, did your husband go shopping with you, or aren't you supposed to see the dress for the very first time at the wedding?
If any of you guys have been married in here, Danica, have you been married before? Did your husband go with you when you got married?
I thought it was custom where we're not supposed to see it.
Like bad luck or something.
Mm-hmm.
Curse the rest of your, I don't know.
It is a reality show, so there's probably lots of bad luck on their side anyway.
But it seems like they really like to get their faces, the first time someone sees something. Maybe they won't be able to have their wedding. Well, they have to get married in like a month, I think. So, no, he stayed at home. Yeah, that's what I thought. Men stay at home. And it's supposed to be like when she walks down the aisle, you have that moment.
Right. That's customary.
And you're just ruining it. So, Betty volunteered to go. And what
I think it's the show that's doing it. Like, they're wanting to get all the drama they can.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but it really wasn't. That was probably that's why I'm starting off with Brandon and Julie, because it seemed like Danica says Jason's right, because it seemed like that was like the most boring part of the show. So they all went wedding dress shopping, and I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't too big of a fan of Julie's dresses she was trying on, but everybody has their own taste, everybody has something for them. But Brandon didn't really seem like he was feeling it either, and he just didn't want to be rude. So he's like, I like that one, I like that one.
Whatever you think, honey, whatever you think.
Yeah, and it's like, you could tell he did not like it, and Julie was like,
he didn't want to be there, that's all.
Yeah. And Julie was like, I knew this was going to happen. You were going to say, I like this one. I like this one. I like this one. So she was really upset. And I feel like he didn't want to hurt the people's feelings of the wedding dress people's feelings by saying, oh, that dress isn't really my favorite. I think she'll look more beautiful with something more sparkly and, glamorous. But to each their own. She seems like she kind of likes more of a simple wedding dress. I didn't like any of the dresses she tried on. Yeah, they really flattered her body too much either. So, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a wedding dress expert, so I really don't have much room to talk. So, yeah, they went wedding dress shopping. And I think, was that pretty much it with Brandon and Julie this episode?
Yeah.
Yeah, there really wasn't much with them. So they only have like a month left. And then, oh, one more thing. So Brandon was talking to the parents about getting married, and they're saying, oh, well, I might just go try to get it extended, to see.
Yeah, that's lazy.
And the dad
Lazy.
said, do you really want to take that chance? And, like the Amir was asking the lawyer, they're not doing extensions right now. I mean, there's a chance that you can maybe get an extension because of the whole
A chance.
Yeah, but you really want to take that chance, and then if they don't take it, then she's got to go back to Russia or whatever. So yeah, I don't really know. I think they just need to get married and do whatever they need to do. So next we're gonna talk about, let's see, Brandon and Julia. Let's talk about Hazel and Tyreek. So, oh my goodness. Hazel's not ready for no girl in this relationship. She is not cut from the cloth that's able to be in an open relationship. What do you think?
I think that she has a point that Tyreek doesn't need to tread near any water of their ex.
Yeah. So what happened in this whole episode is Tyreek and Hazel, they, went on the whole dating website. Hang on one second. I didn't like any of the, ew, she is way too jealous. I know, that's what I said. So, Tyreek and Hazel are on this dating site and they're not having no luck. Tyreek said
because they're all Asian or they're all catfish.
Or yeah, he said that like 60% of the people he was doing a reverse looked up on them and finding out that they're really catfished. And I mean, I actually even myself tried to find their dating thing online, but I couldn't find anything on it. But yeah, so they're not really having any luck. So, and then it just seems like Hazel is being way too picky.
Well, she said no Asians, that's all.
Well, no, she said no Thai, and she's like, I want a dark brown woman.
Yeah,
kind of looks like me, and
so an American or an African American or maybe even a Mexican, maybe even Europe, but no Asian.
Yeah,
which covers a couple of different countries.
No, she said she wants a brown girl, like yeah, but not like
Latina.
She wants like a Latin girl that's not Thai and not Asian.
Yeah, Latina.
So she's got such a small category. I know everybody wants their little Prince Charming or whatever.
Princess Diana.
Yeah, the opposite of Prince Charming. And, so you have a lot of people like, oh, blonde hair, blue eyes, bodybuilder type. Yeah. But, that's just not always.
You're not going to find almost any of those unless you're loaded with money.
Yeah.
You're not going to find exactly what you want unless you've got something down there or a lot of money.
Yeah. And I think Hazel just really wants a girl because she wants to have that bond with a girl.
Yes, she wants the friendship while she's at home, while she's bored. If her and him get in a fight, she's always got somebody to go back to.
Yeah, exactly. And so Danica says, laugh out loud. I don't think another girl is I think another girl is just trouble. He's so jealous. Yeah, I think they're both kind of jealous. And I just think, like I said before, Hazel has a personality of a rock. So anybody who has any little bit of personality is going to be competition to her, seriously.
She's a little insecure, yeah.
And I think, Hazel, I understand. You're lonely. You're in another country. You don't know anybody, so you want a sister and a friend. But you also have to know what comes along with that.
Yes.
And it's more than just
Pandora's box. Be ready for a birthday party.
Yeah, and only certain types of people are built for that. I'm not built for that before. I've never tried to be in an open relationship, but I tried to do the whole little,
menage a trois.
Yeah, before, and that's it. Nope. You think you may want it until you get down to it, and it's all bad. And it just ruins relationships and all that. So Tyreek was telling Hazel, oh, I think we should call Minty and give us some relationship advice. And you notice how Hazel was like, are you hungry? Like at first she's like, why do you want to call her? I don't think we should call her. And then she's like, are you hungry? And she tried to turn the whole subject. Well, now I kind of think, she went to bed and she's like, no way. We are not calling Minty. no way in hell. And then next thing you know, she wakes up the next morning. I think producers probably got to her and said,
Sure.
hey, you probably want to call her and see how he acts around her so you know you can bury this hatchet before you get married to him, because you don't want to get married to him if you don't trust. And so
When their
Tyreek,
ulterior motive was, hey, I think you want to give her a call so we can see how jealous you get on film.
yeah. And, Hazel was just kind of being a little weirdo. They call and they're sitting together, and Hazel's just like, I can't figure out where I'm. She's just like, and she's like, hi, Hazel. And Hazel's just like, she's like, you're not going to say anything to me? Being a little weirdo, making it super awkward.
Yep.
So awkward. I do think Hazel isn't into Tyreek at all. She just wants the green card. When she's married, she'll dump Tyreek and be with a woman. She's completely gay. Yeah. I don't think she wants to be with Tyreek. She just wants to come over here and then find somebody else, So, and it's kind of sad, poor Tyreek, but I don't know. And then so Tyreek's got this Minty girl, and this Minty girl's really, really like saying, I want to be with Tyreek, Hazel and Tyreek broke up, and he was with me for a while after. I guess they're all together. Then they broke up, and then he was with Minty for a while, which I didn't know that. I didn't know Tyreek and Minty were just together, or they're just talking or messing around or something. And then Hazel came back in the picture, and he had to quit talking to her. And now Hazel's just, I don't know. Like I said, I just don't think Hazel's built for all that. They only have a month left to get married.
Yeah,
they need to
3 or 4
on their
weeks.
wedding. And this is just like, why do you want to add more obstacles to getting married? Because anything like this can risk making everything fall apart like that. It's like you want to be you just want to be extra careful. I just don't feel like this is like the kind of thing you want to throw yourself into so close to your wedding day.
Yeah.
So Minty is beautiful. I know. I honestly think Tyreek should be with Minty instead of Hazel.
I would have to go with the visa route. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, Minty's in the Philippines.
Is she also? She doesn't have a green card yet?
No. So, no, is she from the Philippines? Do you guys know? Or no, is she Thai? What is Thai?
Thailand?
Is that Thai is from Thailand? Okay, see, that's how dumb I am. Like, Thai, that's like, is Chinese China?
Yeah, that's just bad geography.
Okay, so she's Thai. Minty's beautiful. I want to know what happened with Minty. Why does Hazel not like her? I just think because she has more personality than Hazel. And Hazel.
No, I thought I heard in the show that they had something like you said before, and something went down where, it was because he texted Minty behind her back, and she found out.
I mean, they were all a thing before. They were all together, living together.
He talked to her behind her back, though, and that's,
Yeah, but I mean, it wasn't too bad. He heard coronavirus. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. He heard, that, what I was just starting to say. Went to Thailand or wherever she was at. So he wanted to check up on her and make sure she was okay and that she didn't get sick. I mean, it's kind of like we're in a relationship. You hit up your exes and any other ex-boyfriend that would have bothered me because I wouldn't trust them, but I actually trust you. And, I know that we're adults now and adults have friends,
Yeah.
Just got to be mature about it.
We both had a life before each other, and we get that.
So, Taiwan, Minty's Taiwan. See, that's how bad I am at geography.
You just put it all in the Asian category.
I know, I get mixed up sometimes. We thinking they're all the same thing. That's how bad I am.
They're all Asian.
Yeah. So, that word you said, Danica, I forgot. For some reason, that's a word that'll get me demonetize my video if I say that. So that's why I had to catch myself. I think
because it got real politicized.
Yeah, that's what I think so too. So much
Thanks, Mr. Trump.
Yeah, so much fake news and all that. So people are now, I guess you can't really talk about it and all that, or they'll take away my money I make from the ads on the video.
Yeah.
So, okay, that's pretty much it with any other comments you have?
Anytime they get in a fight, she's going to cook for them.
What?
Anytime they get in a fight, she's going to cook for them.
Yeah.
Anytime he's hungry, just bring up Minty.
Hazel doesn't have a personality, and so it's easy. She felt like when they were together that Tyreek paid too much attention to Minty, but if you don't ever talk and you're so boring like a rock, then definitely he's gonna pay attention to whoever's more fun and more interesting. So I mean, you can't hate. That's so weird. Oh, that makes sense. No, I can't say that. I can't even pull it up on the screen. It's dumb. I found out there's I thought it was just cuss words, but there's all kinds of other stupid words I can't say either. So, next let's talk about Andrew and Amira. So Andrew and Amira. Andrew wants to go to Serbia with Amira. And she was talking to her dad, and he was like, no. I understand. Her dad was like, no, he didn't come help you when you were in Mexico. I don't want you going, blah, blah, blah. But the thing is, like, Andrew actually came out and said that he did try to help her. She actually set everything up in Mexico herself when she was trying to act like he pressured her. And, there really wasn't much.
Was he financially unable to do anything at the time?
Yeah. And so it's like, if you can't financially do anything.
You know what? Then maybe he should have called her dad and got help. Maybe her dad should have helped him out.
And he didn't know where she was. Sorry if you guys just saw my hoo-ha for a second. Did you see anything? I'm wearing a dress, and I was trying to find my lighter. But yeah, so...
just imagine what's going on in the last 5 years when people got detained. They got split up and nobody knew where anybody was.
Yeah.
And that stuff is not straightened out yet.
Yeah. So it's just a big mess.
That.
But, and I can, it is weird. No, I can't say that either. It's so stupid. But, but I understand where the father's coming from about Serbia. The fact when he said that Serbia isn't a very good place for human rights.
More like it's mob ran, right. And I agree to a point, but he shouldn't have threatened to excommunicate her from his life.
Yeah, exactly.
She needs a whole lot of support right now.
Especially after how much money Andrew's already spent on her and how much he's done. The dad needs to give Andrew some credit, I feel like.
Yeah. I don't think he knows the depths that he's already gone to. Yeah. He just sees his daughter leaving a country that she's from. And, that's a big sacrifice.
Yeah. So spoiler alert, and then, okay, before I tell the spoiler. So Andrew called Amira trying to see if she wanted to go to Serbia. And now she's acting like, I don't even know if I want to go to Serbia. Look what you got me into in Mexico, blah, blah, blah.
Her dad's getting in her ear.
And Andrew was upset. He's like, well, call me when you let me know what's going on. Because first she was all for Serbia, and now she's acting all weird because her dad got in her head. So spoiler alert, Jason heard me making the video about this earlier, but Amira actually did make it to America. They did end up going to Serbia, I found out today, and they spent the 14 days there, and then they both came in the United States together, and they didn't even spend their month together before they had a big, really terrible breakup, and she went back to France. So she left him. They had a really messy breakup. She blamed him for all kinds of stuff. And I guess they filmed the tell-all the other day, and Jovi was saying that Amira just wanted to be on TV. And Amira's dad even tried to get Amira on the French TV show, A Big Brother, before she was with Andrew on 90 Day Fiance.
Just wanting to get famous.
I know, right?
Yeah, because, France is not that bad. I have never been there, but... I probably would like it better than what we're going through here. And she's not coming over here because she has to, for financial reasons or security. France is a good place to live. So, yeah, I think she just wants to be publicized.
Yeah, I mean, her dad looks well off and everything. And her and Andrew just didn't really seem like the match from the start. She seems very high maintenance. And I'm sure he could help take care of her and this and that. But, I don't know. They just he seems more like the nerd kind, but
they weren't. Go ahead.
He said 90 Day Fiance portrayed him like 90 Day Fiance likes to spin people to certain types, he said 90 Day Fiance bend him to look like a nerd. He's like, oh, I see they're trying to go with the whole nerdy look for me and everything like that. And so, like, all the scenes they showed of him was to just make him out to be a nerd and stuff like that. So, you know, Stephanie kind of said the same stuff about how they're doing all that with her about being a whole cougar and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So actually, let's talk about Stephanie and Ryan next. I know we didn't get to that part today, but I'm sure you remember parts of it from last night. Yeah, now they're broken up, and yeah, just like you said. So Ryan left, and Stephanie called his cousin, and his cousin came over, sweet talking her, telling her everything she wants to hear. And he said that he's going to stay with her until she leaves town the whole time. And she says she's done with Ryan. Her and Ryan are a wrap. And the producers asked her if she wants a better sense of closure with Ryan. She's like, hell no. And she was popping the balloon. She was stabbing the balloons like a psycho with a knife, saying, F Ryan, threw the busted balloons on the back porch and said, get these effing balloons off my back porch right now. A lot of people are trying to say they think she's on something, but I just think she's a little bat crazy.
Yeah, she is. I think she's a little past her prime, and she's trying to rewind the clock, and it's not working out so well.
Yeah. Do you think her and Harris would be a thing? Are going to end up being a thing?
If anybody doesn't know, she mentioned the word marriage to him, and he said, hell no.
To Harris?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear that part. Oh my goodness. Yeah,
he's just in it to win it for the night.
Yeah, she's disgusting. She's a cougar. Yeah, she's really just like, she'll just go after.
She just wants to feel secure and not alone.
Yeah. But I feel like she could probably do better than Harris. And supposedly Harris married and has a whole family. And that's why another reason why they think he's preying on Stephanie, because he wants Stephanie to take care of his whole family. Yeah. You know, she was buying Ryan lots of gifts and all that. So I don't know. So who else do we got? Hi. I got your cat right in front of me staring at me. Hang on a second, guys. I'm going to put on the Albert cam.
Albert cam.
You see? Come back here. Oh, did you see it? Did you see him?
No, he ran.
Come back here. You're trying to make me look like a loser now. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I swear I want to get a camera just to put on my cat and be like, it's the Albert cam, guys. Check it out. Because who doesn't love cats? Danica says, you are right, Jason. She was psycho. Stephanie want to buy the Cabana Boys. Yeah, right? Yeah. She said she met Harris because Harris climbed in a tree for her and got her a coconut and cut it and gave her the coconut. And
that simple get you a woman? I don't know. I mean, she's looking for an excuse to get hitched.
Well, I guess the first night she was with Ryan and she was dating Ryan and over wherever they're from, I can't remember her name, but at Belize, is that where they're from?
Belize.
So whenever she was met Ryan the first time they first got together, they're all at a party, you know, at a resort. And like when Ryan walked away to go get her a drink, she went up to Harris and told Harris to lift his shirt up and start feeling on his muscles and stuff. Mm-hmm. Saying, I like your body, call me, and all this stuff. So,
well, dreams. Hey, hold on, guys.
Can you guys still hear me? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. I don't know if the mic messed up. Whenever he has to mute and stuff, because he's on baby duty, guys. So be patient.
Down.
Oh no, I muted you for a sec. So yeah, Stephanie and Ryan, that was pretty much it with them. And then we had Yara and Jovi. So Yara,
yep.
What? Yara and Jovi
I said, yep.
finally told their parents that they're pregnant. The parents handled it pretty well. They seemed pretty excited, actually.
They're excited, yeah. I don't think he was, though.
Yeah, yeah. The parents are more excited than Jovi is.
Well, he's not being a man about it.
Yeah, so they had the engagement party. She was pissed. So mad because he ignored her the whole time. But, I think Yara needs to, I know she's pregnant, but she kind of needs to, I don't know, she's one of those people that says every single thought that goes through her head.
I don't know. I think she's got a big point with him because he likes his booze more than he does her.
Yeah. Yeah, he does need a
from
girl.
day one, he's not really giving her that much attention when they're in social gathering.
Well, no, he does need to give her more attention, but ever since that,
At least in front of everybody to show his support and his love.
Exactly, like, and plus to show her off and everything too.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And then he was like, "Well, you're talking to people at the party, so I thought you're fine." Well, she was just trying to talk to people about how the fact he was ignoring her, and so she didn't look like such an idiot because she, doesn't know anybody. So. And then they told the parents that they're probably just going to get married, them two in Vegas. And Yara said since her parents can't be there, she doesn't really want nobody else there. And she trusted Jovi's mom to have a small party because remember she promised it was going to be a small party and she invited everybody and their mama. So and she wasn't too happy about that. And the mom was not happy. She's like, Jovi, come on. But that's, I understand because Jovi's their only kid. So she wants to be there for the wedding, because it only happens once in your life. But at the same time, they already talked about this in the past and they agreed to have the whole engagement party since they're just going to get married with them too. They said, well, can we at least have a party if you guys aren't going to have a wedding with everyone? And they said, yeah. So that's what the whole party was supposed to be.
They did. Yeah, they obligated, they got that.
So, and then Jovi didn't really want to go into it too much because him and Yara were just going at it bad. And I mean, I think that was pretty much it with them for that show. Don't you think? Was there anything else?
Yeah.
So who else do we have? Rebecca and Zied. Oh my gosh. Who's your guys' favorite?
Match made in heaven, I believe. That's a really good deal.
Yeah, I think she got her a good guy.
I think he truly appreciates everything that she's done and is doing.
I think
he just needs to get out of her mind that insecurity that he may want kids and he may want something younger.
I think they're both really good people.
Well, I mean, if you do your research on that part of those part of the foreigners, they like older, thicker women. They really do.
So yeah, and it just reassured me that Zied's my favorite character when I saw how excited he got over the dishwasher.
I've never seen one of these. I've seen these to wash clothes, but
so he's been trying to figure out a dishwasher. Says he's been having a hard time with some things.
He didn't try to throw his pair of jeans in the dishwasher.
That's what he said. He's like, "Oh, you can wash clothes in this thing. We can wash everything." Yeah.
And so then you saw that he truly appreciated that horse ride too.
Yeah. So after they showed him working the dishwasher, Rebecca decided to take him on this getaway at this cabin because it's her first day off work. She hasn't had a day off work in a long time. So she finally gets a day off work and she takes him to this cabin for a getaway. But the whole reasoning behind it is because she wants to get him excited and say, oh, they do weddings here too. Yeah. So they get out of the car. It's a really rainy day, and they're walking up to a horse and carriage, and Zied got excited. He ran up to the horse. Can I touch your horse? And started petting the horse. And and remind me another reason why I like, hey, girl.
He appreciates the little things.
Yeah, so, yeah, and he was all happy. They're on the horse. And when she's like, after he's petting the horse forever, she's like, well, do you want to get on the horse?
What was his name? Pump Dragon or something? The horse's name?
No, not Pimp Dragon. P-Dragon. Does anybody remember the name of the horse? I can't. Here, I'm going to have to mute you for a second. But, I don't know. I can't remember the name of P-Dragon. I don't know.
I don't know. Let's call him Puff the Magic Dragon. I don't know.
It was something dragon like that. But yeah, so they met the horse. They're riding on the horse in the carriage, and she said, wouldn't this be a beautiful place to get married at? And Zied was like, yes. And then he told her that, hey, Ramadan is in a month, and we have to get married before Ramadan, and we don't want to take the chance of our visa expiring, kind of like Brandon and Julia. Why don't we just do a courthouse wedding? Because this was filmed in March of last year, right when Corona started, and a lot of things did get locked down. So I understand he's being smart because he doesn't want to take chances, because if everything gets shut down and they can't get married, they're screwed.
Yeah, see, that's what I don't understand, how these people are so, not narcissistic, but they are being a little selfish. It's like they're stuck in this time crunch where they need to realize and understand that let's just get this done and do something small behind the books, you know, behind the walls, and then we can have that extravagant thing on video later.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, you can go get the marriage license in the courthouse, and then you can go do your thing. You hear people getting married 2-3 times. You know, I mean, you don't have to get married 2-3 times, but you can have
having a ceremony like a year later after they save up, or
Pendragon. That's the name. Okay.
Pendragon.
We were close. I
Pendragon. Yeah.
Pendragon, Pendragon, close enough. So, okay. So, yeah, I understand where Zied's going. And then, but he dropped the bomb on her. They have to get married by Ramadan. And so they have, what was it, 2 weeks to get married?
Yeah, 2 weeks.
So then she was just not very happy after that. But he said if they don't get married by Ramadan, then he's going to go back to his country.
Gonna have to.
Yeah, so
because they won't be able to get married before his K1 visa expires.
It was named after something from Excalibur. Is that like a
Excalibur?
What's that?
It's what was that based in? Like 1700s, guys? Like
from the King Arthur legend.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think of like Spartacus era.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. That's why I don't know. I'm not very good expert on all that. So, I mean, I think that's about it with Rebecca and Zied. But I just love Zied. They just need to make a Zied show, and I would watch that all day long. So, okay, next we have the. You know, now that I think about it, this was a pretty boring show. I think
that's why everybody said the other one was better, wasn't it?
I think 90 Day Fiance needs to take some pointers from Love After Lockup and Life After. It's the same producers. They need to show about some of their drama. Sorry, I muted you for a sec. Sorry. King Arthur's sword. Oh, okay. So, and then, so next, we have Natalie and Mike. So Natalie called her friend, and I guess her friend talked some sense into her, because Natalie took Mike outside and said, Mike, I apologize. I want to start from a clean slate. I trust you. I'm going to pretend nothing happened. And Mike seemed really happy. No, you don't believe her?
Oh, no. That's just to get the tensions down so she can get married.
Because they have 22 days left until they have to get married. Oh my God,
she is saying what she has to try to persuade him.
Yeah. So you guys don't think she's gonna change her ways? But Mike did.
I didn't say that. I just think that what she's saying is a bunch of baloney just to try to make it happen.
But she, I mean, for her to apologize, you know, with her pride, you know,
I know. But it's pride or go back home.
Yeah, no, you are right. So, and then it did show in the spoiler for the next episode, she started pressing Mike for the ring, and he said no, and she was all upset and everything. So she's just thinking, everything.
He needs to get rid of his pride. He's got too much pride and narcissism. I don't like that guy one bit.
Ukrainian has nothing. Natalie's completely lying. Not at all. She's totally fake. She wants into USA. Jason is right. She's hustling Mike. And Ukrainian, like, how many do they say they have? How many women to how many men there? There's like a huge men shortage in Ukraine. Yeah. Now it makes sense.
Yeah, but it's not that. It's just like, you know, the average wage per month. I don't know. I'm not even precise here, but you know, let's just say it is close to like $250 a month is what they live on.
In Ukraine?
Yeah, as far as if you convert it to US dollars, they don't make money.
Wow. Oh, wow.
It's a third world country type thing.
Yeah, I didn't know that. She says, I agree. Yeah, so
that's a bad place to live.
That's crazy because you hear Yara always talk about my country is so much better. I can go back to my country, which I
So like she
understand.
has a better family.
Well,
And
yeah,
with
you
better
get
family
family
connections to Putin.
and friends and friends and your support there, so I understand. So I mean, Mike seemed like he believed her, but I don't know. He may not believe her because he's
I don't
not
think he
getting the ring
did.
back.
Yeah, I don't think he did.
But
That
they
guy.
did. A spoiler alert: they did get married. They got married last March, and they've been together since then. Surprisingly,
Well, I
Natalie.
don't think she can leave him as soon as they get married. Again, when
Oh no,
my
we
friends
talked
got
about.
married in
No, we said that they have to be together for 3 years.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I
you
mean,
can't just get married and leave.
and Natalie actually has her own cooking show on YouTube now. I saw, but it's like all healthy stuff and all that. But I'm just really curious. I just don't think those people. They're two total opposites. She's a health freak. She's religious. He's not
I
very
think they're
religious.
too. I think they're too similar in the way they view themselves. Like
Yeah,
I'm always right, you're always wrong. You need to listen to me.
I don't want to ever admit that I'm wrong. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yay! Did they move? I'm not sure. But in all the cooking videos Natalie has, she has like a really fancy kitchen in the background. So I don't know if she rented a kitchen, if she's using a friend's kitchen, but she's posting videos from that kitchen every day. So I don't think she's like going to a friend's house every day. It kind of looks like they moved, but I'm not sure. But if they did move and that's their house, they're living in a nice house now because her kitchen is all fancy, but it's kind of empty, like looking like an Airbnb or like a rental almost. But
It might be an Airbnb now that you mention that.
I can't say. I mean, I'm not sure. I can't say or anything like that. But even though they don't pay the foreigners, this gives them such a good like start, because
Exposure. Yeah,
they
good
can do
exposure.
cameos. They can go to OnlyFans. They can, not just like cameos on other sites, do shout outs, do interviews, and get paid for all that and stuff like that. So I don't think I've ever seen Natalie do a interview though. It's like in her YouTube channel, it's really, really hard to understand her.
Yep.
But it seems like she actually talks all right on the show. But okay, one other thing before we do get off here. Okay, when Amira and her dad were talking, I'm not gonna lie, it almost seemed like the producers were telling them like what to say.
What
Because
to ask. Yeah.
did you notice how bad her dad was like struggling and how slow he was talking? And
he's also what, in his 60s or 70s, and he's from France. He's never been to America. I could see that choppy English.
But Amira kept doing that too. Like, here's the camera, and they'd look over here and then look at the camera, and they kept looking back and forth. Like they're almost
scripted. Yeah.
Like they're almost looking at, and he's like almost trying to sound. Did anybody else notice that? I love her cooking videos because her cooking videos are in another kitchen. Yeah, that's what I was saying. So I'm not sure. I follow Natalie on YouTube and stuff, and I keep trying to see if I can like see like a surprise peek. Like I was trying to look at the reflection in the microwave and the reflection in the oven, trying to see if I saw.
Oh, I wouldn't have thought about that.
Trying to see if I saw Mike and who was filming it, and trying to see if I could see around the thing. I couldn't see nothing. Trust me, I was trying to look at everything, how the light was shining, the reflection. I could not tell. It did seem scripted. Who would want to interview Natalie? I know. I don't even know where you could really ask Natalie, except how is even Mike, but she can't even really come out and say that. So it did seem scripted, but that's what I said. Like, they just seemed like they were reading off something, how much they kept looking away and talking slow. I know their English isn't the best, but I was feeling like it was scripted really bad. And that's not the first time I've heard of people who don't speak English very bad or English very good, them like telling them what to say, so they don't have.
That might be it. It might not be scripted. They may be telling them the right vocabulary.
Oh, you're right. Maybe they have an interpreter and saying, hey, instead of saying it your way, and then we have to put subtitles.
That way the viewers like us understand what they're trying to say too.
Yeah, because it makes it easier to understand compared to reading subtitles. Paul and Corrine. Oh, she posts pictures of herself. What about Paul and Corrine? I think he's supposed to be doing a DNA test on both of their kids, but I have not heard anything back about it yet. I've been trying to check up. If anybody gets any updates, let me know. Did Katerine have another baby? Yeah, she had another baby, I believe last month. I think it was the end of January. She had a baby about less than a month ago. That is true, Jason. Good point. But yeah, I think we pretty much covered it. This was just such a boring show to me this time. So hopefully it gets better next week. Okay.
All right.
She had a baby. Okay, but yeah, and now I don't know.
Right,
I
guys,
feel like we
get
covered
off of here.
All right, on count of 3, let's go bye. 1, 2, 3, bye.
Bye, guys.
Oh, and thank you, girl. I appreciate that.